What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we are going to be seeing how smart you are as a wide receiver with a more advanced style quiz that we are going to be taking you through. So if you guys aren't familiar with our quiz style videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a clip with a pre-snap look that you guys can take a look at, check out, and I'm going to tell you guys to pause the clip. You're going to think about what you want to do against that specific coverage, that specific defensive look. Then you're going to play the clip. I'm going to break it down, and we're going to see if you were right or wrong on this style, okay, or on this specific pre-snap look, all right? So I hope this video helps you guys out. If you guys have any other video suggestions for this channel, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments section. I always appreciate the feedback, and it's great to hear from you guys as usual. So first situation we got here. We got a disciplined DB at about 1 to 2 yards off. I have to run a quick fade. It's going to be like a goal, like not a goal line fade, but like a quick game fade where maybe it's like a fade and a 5-yard out concept. And I have an inside shade press coverage guy about 1 to 2 yards off. So how would you run a fade on this? What would be the move that you would choose? And how can we keep timing with the quarterback? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. And now we're going to get into this breakdown. So what a lot of guys will do against this specific coverage, against 1 to 2 yards off, is they will just think that, oh, okay, I could just give some kind of like little move to the inside, like a little like jab release, speed release, whatever it is, and then just take off to the outside. That is not going to work against a disciplined DB. So if that's something you guys said and just get off the ball right now because it's a quick game, you'd be incorrect. You would want to close down this gap with the DB, attack that leverage, square him up, attack the midline, and you have to actually threaten him to the inside. This is not what this wide receiver does. Play this thing full speed. So he kind of goes at him. He gives a little hesitation move and then just runs to the outside. And you see how he gets squeezed all the way to the sideline. Not what you want to do right there, because simply that quarterback does not have enough space to throw you open, number one. He's throwing it out of bounds because you pretty much ran out of bounds, but there was no threat of an inside move right here. That's the only way it's going to move a DB. He's inside shade for a reason. So if you guys thought about that and said, okay, well, he's inside shade. He doesn't want to let me cross his face. He doesn't have any help to the inside, so I want to threaten him to where he doesn't have any help. He doesn't have any help inside, so let's threaten him there. Let's attack his leverage. Let's try to move him off the platform, get him to widen so I could take the outside release, maybe restack or get back into him, or just have some kind of space for that quarterback to throw me open. So fellas, we cannot just take off and run. We can't give him a little hesitation move to the outside and not threaten him to the inside. I'm cool if you guys use this kind of like little hesitation release, but give him some kind of a move inside. We have to keep this DB honest. We cannot give him a free opportunity to get hands on me, get right into my hip, and squeeze me to that sideline. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Just got to make sure, fellas, when we're running that fade route against inside shade, we attack his leverage and attack him to threaten him back to the inside, okay? So now, next clip we're going to be talking about is a speed out route against this specific look. But before we get into that, fellas, before I kind of break this thing down, explain to you guys what we want to do for this coverage, I want to talk to you about a great opportunity we have this offseason. We are going to be traveling out to 8 different cities across the United States, fellas. We're going to be coming out to Houston, Texas in 1 week. Then we're going to be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, Newark, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Chicago, Illinois, Dallas, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, and Los Angeles, California. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities or just want to travel out and make the trip down, we would love to have you out, fellas. Spots are going to be limited, though, to only about 10 to 12 guys per position group, because we don't want to be one of those camps that has 50, 60 guys per position group and we just run you through drills and you get like 3 reps every hour. That's not what we're trying to do. We're actually trying to help you guys get better, actually explain to you what you're doing wrong and help you improve. We're kind of like the anti-camp. I really think this is a good way to teach you guys, and especially in a smaller group format, I think a lot of people are going to get a lot better. So we'd love to have you out again, fellas. If you want some more information on those 8 specific cities we are traveling to, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out. Let's get back to this video. So now, first things first here, let's go ahead and you guys can go ahead and pause the video. We have to run a 10-yard timing speed out versus this specific coverage right here. Inside shade, off man, 7 to 8 yards, right where you're going to break. Okay, so you guys can go ahead and pause the video. Now we're going to get into a breakdown explaining what we should do against this coverage, okay? So now, inside shade, very similar to what we were just talking about with that fade, right? I would consider a fade not an outside breaking route, but it's an outside route, right? So it's pretty much a similar concept. So if you said, I want to attack his outside shoulder, get him to flip his hips, and then break it off, maybe lean into him, you'd be 100% wrong. what you want to do in this specific case is you want to attack his leverage. Very similar to what we were talking about with the inside shade press guy. It is the same type of coverage. He does not have any help over here, except he's just a little bit further back on this. Probably because he's expecting maybe a longer route. You could see this type of coverage, maybe if it's like 3rd and long, they're not going to walk up and maybe play press coverage and give you a one-on-one opportunity, right? So what would you think you'd have to do? Just like that clip, we want to attack his leverage. So Claypool actually does a good job of that. He stems him to the inside, attacks the midline, gives him that hard cut to the outside, and he gives that quarterback space to throw him open. I want you to see right here how much space he has to that sideline simply because of his stem. Even if we don't break the DB's ankles, at least I have a chance. At least I have a chance to accelerate. At least I'm giving the quarterback a chance to throw me open. That is a great job there by Claypool, attacking his leverage and stemming him. So we got to make sure, fellas, if you guys said attack leverage, get him off the platform, get him to weave to the inside, break it off and run the out, you would be correct. Now, again, some people like to say, oh, when you run a dig route, you want to do this exact same thing. Can't tell you how wrong that could be if the DB is disciplined. Against bad DB, it don't matter. If he's not disciplined, it don't matter. You probably just run the route and you probably get away with it. But against a guy who knows what he's doing, and that's what I'm in the business of. I'm trying to get you guys ready for those 4-star, 5-star guys who actually have been coached, actually go to DB training, actually understand film and understand what a wide receiver is trying to do. You got to have more tools in your arsenal to beat a guy like that. You cannot just go out there and run routes. You cannot just rely on your speed. You cannot just rely on your size and your strength. You have to be able to run routes to play at that next level when everybody's just as big as you and just as fast as you, right? So what people will say is, oh, you want to attack his leverage and then run the dig route, square him up and then give him a move. But that DB is just going to keep his leverage to the inside and you're going to end up running the dig right into him. So that's why you attack the leverage on the out route, because I'm creating space for myself. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Claypool stemming him, hitting him with that rocker step, and then making a play on that ball. All right, so fellas, so now last clip we're going to be talking about here is we're going to be talking about a dig route. You're going to be running a dig route versus an outside shade press coverage DB. So how do you think you would run a dig route versus outside shade press coverage DB? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video. Now let's get into this breakdown, okay? So now, one thing I want you to think about too as well, and maybe if you guys want to pause the video again and kind of rethink about this if you haven't, what would be a move you could use at the top of the route in this specific case, right? So that's the one thing that I want to think about. So think about the release, think about the move at the top of the break, okay? So if you had to pause the video, you go ahead and unpause it now, and then we're going to get into the breakdown. So what he ends up doing, because he's outside shade. Why is the DB outside shade? He does not have help to the outside, right? So his help is to the inside. He's probably got safety help, some kind of linebacker maybe dropping, maybe it's like Tampa 2, whatever it is, right? Actually, probably wouldn't be Tampa 2 because that's more of a zone coverage concept and this is a man coverage concept, so excuse me for that. But he's got safety help. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So he's outside shade. So where do you think you want to threaten him off the line? You want to threaten him to where he doesn't have help because he's going to keep his leverage there, or it might force him to just kind of stay honest on the inside foot. And I'm going to take the inside release. This textbook, this is exactly what I want for a dig route because it's pressed outside shade. I can get the inside release. It's ideal to get the inside release on an inside breaking route, even though you don't have to, right? So we'll play it full speed. He does a wide step, works back up to the top, and then kind of breaks this thing off on one single speed cut with a little head fake at the top. That's exactly what you want to do, right? So if that's what you guys were saying, that's 100% correct. If you guys were thinking just, oh, take the release, just burst off to the inside, then you would be wrong. He'd get right into your hip and force you right into his help. So you want to make sure that we attack him outside, keep his leverage on the outside, make sure he keeps his platform and stays disciplined. And then at the top of the route, what are some things you could do? You could do the one cut with the little head fake like Moore does right here, or maybe you could do like a little rocker step where you throw a 1-2, but you do not want to maybe snap down when it's man coverage. You can. I'm okay with that. I would say snapping down, though, is a little bit better when you take the outside release because you have to snap down and then be able to throw him by and slip under. So I would say when you take that inside release, maybe doing a quick little speed cut, a 1-2, a rocker step, something of that nature will help. You can absolutely snap down, but those are the two that I would prefer at the top of the route in this case. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. So that is how you'd run that dig route versus outside shade press coverage. Great example of this from DJ Moore. Great job with the wide step, getting him off the platform, and then breaking off on this dig with that one single cut and that head fake. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We'll get back to you as soon as I can. Always appreciate the feedback. If you guys have any suggestions for the channel, we'd also really appreciate that as well. And again, fellas, we're coming out to 8 different cities this offseason: Houston, Phoenix, Newark, Atlanta, Chicago, Dallas, Nashville, and Los Angeles. So if you guys are local to one of those 8 cities, you want to travel out, get some working with us, we would love to have you for 2 whole days in those 8 cities. Check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.